Hey everybody, welcome back to the Our Square Foot Garden series. This is episode number 3, and this is day number 28. 28, yes. So, as you may or may not be able to see, things are growing very well here. Maybe too well in some instances. Also, you may have noticed the addition of hay. Last week, in the last episode, if you recall, I was somewhat concerned about the broccoli bolting, which means it was just giving off flowers real fast and was not going to put out a head of broccoli, just was going to put out some flowers. That happened. I got some advice on Gab to just cut that off and leave it where it was and just cut off the flowers, so we did that. But we also added hay as mulch to try and keep the sun from beating down on the soil to keep it cooler. So I'm not sure if that's worked or not. We just did this maybe 4 or 5 days ago. That same broccoli has more flowers coming out of it, so I think it just wants to do its thing, which is fine. This is not a financial hardship for us if our stuff goes wrong. It's just a fun thing that we're doing this year. Most everything else looks great. The lettuces, the kale, of course, is huge, and I think at this point it's probably big enough where I can snip some off and actually make some kale chips. I'll probably try and do that later on today. Carrots, look at these carrots. They are growing fantastically. I'm looking forward to seeing how they come out. Corn, the corn is doing well. Oh, back to the Brussels sprouts. Oh, forget the corn. So the broccoli, see, there's flowers forming there. It wants to give us more flowers. So that's its thing this year. That's fine. Tomatoes are looking ridiculously good, absurdly good. Corn is growing really well too, or some of it anyway. Spinach is popping up. Very excited about the spinach. I think I planted it in the wrong season or the wrong time of this season. I'm not sure. So let's appreciate it while we have it, shall we? So you may have remembered from last episode where I had gone hog wild with the lettuce seed in the second bed, and I started trying to take some of those plants that were growing and put them elsewhere. So I put them here with these beans. I figured they were far enough apart. And then these two beans plants, I might have to switch them out for something else. I think the kids call it stunted, so I don't think they're long for the garden, unfortunately. This is cucumber. It came up, the seeds came up. I think it just started coming up last time. They grow really fast. Here's some more of those lettuce plants that I was able to take from the second garden and rehome them over here. You know, I get really nervous separating those plants because they're so little, but they seem to not mind being separated and brought over here, so still have many more to do that with over there, but maybe I'll put them where the beans are. As you can see, everything is looking very lush. Again, I'm fairly certain it is the Mel's mix. I think Mel found the perfect mix, and bless him for it. Even if you don't have a green thumb, I think you're going to have a hard time not growing something in this particular mix of equal parts vermiculite, peat moss, and compost. I mean, look at this thing. It's absurdly large. It's the attack of the killer tomatoes. These are 3 little pepper plants that were in the 1-inch, I don't know what they're called, just the 1-inch cups, I guess. 1-inch tray of cups, cup tray of 1 inch. Who knows? But they're growing really well too. They're doing very well. Look at that. I'm so sorry for my potato phone. It's what I can afford. The zucchini and the squash, I can't tell which one is which yet. I have it on my chart somewhere. But, I mean, it's Jack and the Beanstalk quality growing there. It's ridiculous. It's absurdly ridiculous. Because I started those from seeds. The corn, what can I say about the corn? It's growing really well. It's huge. This first bed is just doing really well. We've already picked some of the lettuce and had it. What do we have? A little salad maybe? A little salad, some oil and vinegar. Even if we just picked a few things, it was like fun having something from our garden. And as these tomatoes and the peppers and the corn and the zucchini grow in, I think it's going to be even more fun. But the lettuce was awesome, and I'm hoping the kale chips, I'll be able to make them great too. I don't know. I've never made kale chips, to be honest. But kale is supposed to be super healthy for you. And literally it grows like a weed. If it tasted a little better, I think everyone you could just live off of it. So I'm going to try the kale chips. Since we have so much, might as well. I've tried it in juice before and it was overwhelming. Overwhelming in the worst way possible. So I'll try the chips. Dave says he's had it with garlic and butter. I don't know if it's still healthy for you there. Second bed, the carrots. This was where I kind of tossed a bunch of seeds in there and hoped for the best, and it looks like they're all coming up. So I'm not going to separate them. This is more spinach. These are herbs and some errant lettuce seeds that have kind of popped in where they shouldn't be. But that's all right. That's all right. What am I going to do? There's all the lettuce seeds I planted, and I thinned them out, as you can see, but there's still a gazillion of them. So, now I'm not sure if this is Brussels sprouts. I think these are Brussels sprouts. I don't have my chart handy, and that's my bad. But things are in the second garden are doing really well. Unfortunately, with this garden, I kind of planted willy-nilly because a lot of it was seeds or little plants that hadn't done so well, and now I'm finding out I probably shouldn't have done that. If something is stunted, you got to just put that little guy aside and start new, I think. Because I think if it's stunted, it's not going to produce anyway, and you're wasting some space. That's what I did with I had a little pepper plant in the first bed, and I removed him and put him in his own little 4-inch pot. It's on the handrail there, and I put more lettuce in his spot. I don't want to kill a plant because he's stunted. I feel like, live your best life anyway. So that's me being an idiot, but tons of lettuce. The mint is growing well. The mint, we planted mint in this 1-gallon tub. Oh, here's some lemon balm. And here's a raspberry plant that Dave grabbed from the woods, and we're trying to grow with raspberries. Here's the mint. Let me tell you something about the mint. It did not want to grow inside. We planted it, and it was weak and fragile, and now it's outside, and it's a slow grower, but it's doing well. Lettuce, it's amazing. Amazing. The lettuce is, it's great. It just is growing really great. I thought it was going to be rougher. Here's some more. There's lettuce in with those. There's lettuce in with those tomatoes. Somehow I think it rained and it scattered the lettuce seeds, and so you'll find lettuce in everything, in with the kale. And I just figured, what the hell? I'll just leave it there for now. Everything is doing well despite me. That's it. That's the end bullet point here. Everything is doing well despite me. Day 28 of our square foot garden adventure. All right. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Have a great 4th of July. God bless America.